I'm Mjkeliso. This is Ibali Lokuvuka, comeback stories, but with a different edge. With me is Graham Paull with some of the most amazing rugby and personal stories. Graham, you were a rugby player, but I wanna touch into, first of all, being at Boys High. I was at Boys High myself. You were one of the first team rugby players playing hooker there. What was it like being at one of the more traditional rugby schools back in the day?
I think I was very lucky. Oh, sorry, welcome. Thank you for having me. I think I was very lucky to go to a big traditional school, which gave me great opportunities sporting-wise, academically, etc. Obviously, I took more advantage of the sporting sides, played first team water polo, first team rugby, and just did enough academics to pass at the end of the day. But I loved it. You know, the friends I made there are friends for life, teachers are for life. I still speak to headmasters from there.
When did you start taking the sports seriously, sports side of things seriously, and you start to realize, hey, look, I can form a decent professional rugby career here?
I was a bit of an underdog. I like to consider myself a bit of a Butch James, you know, not playing like A-team rugby. I started under 14 Ds playing 8th man. I remember I tried to put a drop kick over from the halfway line, and my parents are screaming at me, what are you doing? And you know, all of that. So if I look back from there and then ending up playing first team at Pretoria Boys, I got chosen to go down to the Sharks Academy.
Okay.
And I think at that point is when I realized that I can make a bit of a career out of it, or try and make a career out of it and go professionally. So, and also before that, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, so it was a great opportunity for me to get down to Durban and try to show them what I've got there and hopefully make a success out of it there. So I can say that that would be the turning point of where I thought it would go forward from there.
And when you got there, that was a pretty stellar class, the 2005-06 class that made it into the Sharks Academy. We're talking about Frans Steyn, we're talking about JP Peterson, guys who...
Luazi and Volvo.
Those guys went on to become Springboks and Sharks legends.
And Beast himself as well, you know, he was a year before me, but at least we were there. And, you know, and we got to mix with all of those people that are also very professional, and you learn a lot from that.
Right.
Being around those people, you know, especially coming from playing school sport to now going semi-professional, you know, you have to become semi-professional yourself. So it's nice to learn and draw a lot from other players on that side, like Frans Steyn and all of them, because they were getting the guidance from senior coaches, bring them through the ranks, and we could draw off that. It was an amazing experience, you know. We learned a hell of a lot. The nice thing about it is they also pushed you to study. So it wasn't just rugby. And I made a lot of good friends, spent a good 2 years down there, and wouldn't change it, you know.
And where did you move on after that?
So I ended up, I had some bad injuries. I made the under 19 and under 21 squads, Natal squads. But unfortunately didn't play any games because I had compartment syndrome in my calves, and then I had bad concussions in my under 21 years, so I wasn't able to play. And at that stage I realized that I need to start looking at finding employment and becoming a big boy, as I call it, and going into the working world.
The real
world. The real world. And my family's always been involved in farming, so I went farming then, up in Limpopo. And still played club rugby socially. So that was great, and I really enjoyed that.
Amazing. And it led to what would have been quite a turning point in 2013 when Limpopo Blue Bulls say, hey, come on over. Let's put you in the Vodacom Cup team, which was a great entry-level professional competition then. I mean, a lot of players would have killed just to make a chance there. And good news then is juxtaposed with what you received in very unfortunate circumstances is a rare spinal disease. Tell me about that transition from getting a great chance to play professional rugby and then it being taken away.
So it was, as you say, the first year Limpopo were going to play in the Vodacom Cup, and I still believe that Limpopo has got some brilliant rugby players out there and talent that slips under the radar big time.
Yeah.
You know, I think some selectors and scouts need to go up there. But what the Blue Bulls Rugby Union did was they set it up that some players would come from Limpopo and then some players would come from Pretoria, just to make it more professional, because obviously being in Limpopo is very semi-professional or not even professional at all, not actually playing club. So just to buff up the team a bit, that's what they decided to do. I made the side, luckily, starting hooker. I was excited about that. And they phoned me on the Thursday to let me know that I'd been selected for the side. And of course, you're excited about it. You phone everyone, mommy's screaming, daddy's chuffed, he's phoning all his mates, telling everyone. And
and you weren't feeling physically like any which way? You're feeling fine, you played rugby?
At that stage, we had just played trials, so I was a bit bruised and a bit sore from trials.
Right.
But it was normal rugby aches, and I was 100% fine. And then, I woke up one Saturday morning, and I had serious pain down the back of my legs. And I thought, yes, this is a bit strange. But
maybe it's a hammy.
Yeah, so exactly it. So I thought, it's a hammy. So I thought I'll just be careful about it. I just monitored it, and I carried on. And I woke up Sunday morning the following day, and I had no feeling in my feet. So my missus at that stage rushed me down to the hospital. And picked up, long story short, I had this transverse myelitis, which is a rare condition. It's swelling in the spinal cord. And they tried to treat it, but couldn't treat it. And it was devastating. Number one, I've always had a passion for rugby. I've always loved rugby, to play rugby. And to be able to be told that, number one, you're not going to walk ever again, and you're not going to be able to play rugby was heartbreaking. To go through that experience, I wish it upon no one to be told that. And it's hard, but, also you have to sit yourself back and tighten up and just say, well, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
You can't change it. So how do we go forward from here? And I think I was very lucky, because I've got a positive mind, that I was able to pull myself out of a slump quite quickly and go forward. And had to go to spinal rehab, for instance, and you're supposed to spend 8 weeks at spinal rehab, learning to use the wheelchair, etc. And I said to myself, there's no ways I'm going to be here for 8 weeks. I'm going to conquer this, and I'm going to put everything into it. And within 4 weeks, they said to me, Graham, there's nothing more we can teach you, go home. And I think if you stay positive, you'll work your way through it, and that's the only way.
Yeah.
You do get your bad days, but you need to pick yourself up. And I'm fortunate, my family and friends were all there to support me, which made it a lot easier to get through. So,
how was that? How was the decision, first of all, come about where you're like, okay, this enough now, I have to do something?
I've always been a sporty person and competitive. I have to do some form of exercise, otherwise I go crazy. So when I went paralyzed, obviously I spent a lot of time lying at home in hospitals, etc. So while I was lying there, I thought, let me try and find some sports that I can start doing. So I looked at the tennis and the wheelchair rugby and all of that. And then I decided I want to find something that I could do out of the chair, because I spend every day sitting in the wheelchair.
So wheelchair tennis is not very appealing in that regard.
And I've always been outdoorsy, and I want to be outdoors and all of that. So I was looking around, I was struggling to find someone or something to do, and then I bumped into someone that was just started paracanoeing in South Africa, and he was looking for someone to take it up. So I put my hand up and I said I'm willing to give it a go. I'd never been in a canoe, even when I was able-bodied. So I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But luckily, I took to it like a duck to water. And excuse the pun, And, within my first year, won SA Champs, then went to World Champs. I think I finished 10th at World Champs.
Right.
But then I knew what I needed to do to be competitive.
Right.
Went the next year, needed to place top 5 to qualify for the Olympics. managed to qualify for the Olympics, which then I became the first paracanoeist from the continent of Africa to go to the Olympics for canoeing.
It's amazing.
So that was pretty cool.
And I read somewhere that you only had 4 hours of total training before you actually qualified.
So I had 4 hours of technical training. So someone showing you your stroke, etc.
Okay.
The rest of it, it's a very small sport in this country, canoeing itself, and then you go to para-canoeing, and there were only like 4 of us in the whole country. One in Cape Town, one in Durban, etc. So it was very small. And everyone's different. So, an able-bodied person couldn't teach me a technique because he's using his legs and I'm not using my legs. So I managed to find a coach that just showed me with my upper body what to do. But then most of it I taught myself. But once I qualified for the Olympics, then I managed to get a coach, and we worked through it and we went there.
How was the experience of actually going to the Rio Games?
It's an unbelievable experience.
Which was in 2016.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
It's an unbelievable experience. It's hard to explain to anyone unless you're there, The whole build-up to it before it, getting the whole team together, meeting up in Joburg before you fly, having the media. For me, it was the first time I was exposed to any of this,
Yeah.
And so at first you come in and you've got big eyes and you're just looking at this and you're nervous. But luckily, the management are there to walk you through it and talk you through it, etc. So it becomes easier. But the whole experience it's amazing. And when you obviously arrive at the Olympic Village, it's something like on another level. I can't remember the exact numbers, but I think there were 5,000 para-athletes in the village with me at the same time. The food hall is 3 rugby fields big. Just the food hall. There is food from every country in the world. Whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's absolutely huge and amazing, and obviously just to go there and meet other people, number one from other disciplines, and also number 2 meet other paras, see what wheelchairs are out there, etc.
And you're representing South Africa as well, which might not have happened as a rugby player, but here you are, you're actually representing the country at a national event, and that must have been amazing.
No, 100%. That's why I always say my disability has actually benefited me in my sporting career at the end of the day. As you say, I probably would never have become a Springbok if I stayed and played rugby. I've become a Springbok paddler now. So, I've got my SA colours, I've got my SA blazer. And not only that, I've managed to travel the world. I've been to Europe, I've been to a number of countries in Europe. I've been to South America. I've met people from all over the world. And to say I would never have been able to gain that experience if I'd stayed in the rugby field and carried on playing rugby.
Any interesting stories we might want to know from the world of para-canoeing that obviously a lot of us aren't exposed to, like when you guys have your downtime and you relax as mates and stuff like that?
So my big mate is a guy by the name of John O'Wing. At that stage, he's in varsity, so he's a lot younger than me, but he's an amputee, so he's got 1 leg. But he was actually the world karting champion, para-karting champion. So he was very good at driving go-karts and all, etc. So luckily he was in the team with me. He got selected to go to Duisburg in Germany, and we went to compete there. And on one of our days off, we decided to hire a car. And we hired this little Opel Astra, and we drove up to the Duisburg ring in Belgium. And took this little Opel Astra around the Duisburg ring. And as I say, Jono drove me around. I've never been so frightened in my life. But obviously he's a race car driver. He knows. And as I say, we hitting speeds of 180 going around this thing. But as I say, in this little hired Opel Astra cars, and you've got Ferraris coming past.
Don't let your parents hear that.
Exactly, And that was great fun. And and then of course having Jono, and then he gets out and he's got 1 leg, and you check, everyone's eyes pop up, and that was exciting.
I know, right? Everyone's probably thinking, how's this guy gonna break?
Exactly. And there's the usual stories of like stealing legs, and taking your wheelchair and getting up to that sort of nonsense. And, you know, like Jono calls me legless, and, you know, I call him Stumpy, and, you know, so it's all good at that.
You guys really,
you know.
you hit below the belt.
Exactly. But if you don't laugh about it, life will be too serious.
Yeah,
you know, so you need to.
So any medal stories you might have to share with us?
Yeah, I got one. When we came back from the Olympics and we landed at Tambo.
Yeah.
So, you know, all of us athletes flew in on SAA, and we thought, here we're going to go through to this great parade. Everyone's going to welcome us back. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be banners and everyone cheering, and, you know, we're going to be heroes. And we get off the plane. Everyone's obviously excited to be home, etc. And we go get our bags. And as we get to the door that we're about to go through, they turn around to us and they say, no, hold on. Everyone that won medals at the Olympics come this side. Everyone that didn't have medals go this side. So we were like, okay. So we split up. And then they say, okay, cool. And they take all the medal guys through onto the stage, and they get the big applause, and everyone cheers them. And then we think, okay, they're getting their little bit of fame, their 5 minutes TV, and then they'll let us join as well. No, it wasn't the case. They took us through a side door, around the back. Our family had to come running around trying to find us to see where we were, you know. So I was very disappointed in that. It would have been nice to come out and be welcomed back. But, you know, because even though we didn't win a medal, we still represented our country.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
And some of us were still top athletes in South Africa.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
So it would have been nice. But so that was a little bit disappointing. And we had a good chuckle at it. But, you know, you put it behind you and you keep going forward.
And
you know?
keep moving. Oh, man, sorry about that. I might have been there as well. But I take no responsibility for the medal fiasco. Tell me about Patrick, the car guard that helped you at Emerentia Dam.
Oh, what a gem. What a gem. So Patrick, he's been there for years, etc. And when I arrived there, obviously I need someone to carry my boat and put my boat in the water for me and all of that. And every morning, 6 o'clock, if I wasn't there, Patrick was phoning me saying, your boat's in the water, where are you? You know, Patrick became my coach.
Yeah.
If I was running late after work, same thing. Where are you? Your boat's in the water. Get in the water. It's time to paddle. And then I would go and train, and he would watch me while I train, etc., and then bring my boat out and put it away for me and all of that. And as I say, like, he was there whenever I needed him. I wouldn't have been able to qualify for the Olympics if I didn't have his help.
Crazy.
You know, and he just made my life so easier.
Yeah, and this is just an oak that is a car guard, and a lot of people probably ignore him and not tip him or whatever.
Exactly.
To other people, he's annoying, but to you, he was very critical in your journey to the Paralympic Games in 2016.
100%. You know, we became friends. You know, I've heard about his family, and I know everything that's going on in his life. He knows what's going on in my life, and you know, even now, I haven't been training for a while. Unfortunately, I've had some medical problems.
Right.
But he phones me to check up on me and see what's going on, how I'm doing, you know. And as I say, it's just nice. And, you know, and he was also there to push me. If I only did an hour session and I want to get off the water, he would be like, no, go back out there. You need to do more, you know. And then, of course, when I qualified for the Olympics, he was, I think, happier than I was at that stage, you know. And that was lovely. It just brought so much joy to know that I'm not only representing myself, I'm representing people like Patrick and you know, the whole of South Africa to go out there, you know, people that have had struggles in their life. And just to show them that you can overcome it, you can live a normal life, you can go out there and be yourself and do your thing, you know.
Amazing stuff. And what has it taught you, like overall, if you look back, what has it taught you about how you approach life and how you overcome some of the most unpredictable, and if we're talking unpredictable, like your story is right up there. But what have you learned through it all?
Number one, don't take every day for granted. Things can change like this. You know, you hear people through car accidents, etc. They all say it, but I can tell you from personal experience, I've lived it. Don't take every day for granted. And, you know, just be positive. Go out there. Look at the small things. When you wake up in the morning, look at the sunrise. You know, just take it in.
It's all
worth living, you know. I feel that nowadays we live in such a rush in life that we forget about the small things. And, you know, it's the small things that have helped me get through challenging situations. You know, having a tough time, oh, I can't walk, I'm not going to do this, what's life going to be? Go out to the bush, sit, watch a sunset, watch a sunrise, watch the birds. You realize this is life, you know, and that's what keeps you going. And I think, you know, you have to just be positive and draw on your family and friends to help you through it. You know, your support group, they definitely a huge part of it. I know a lot of people don't have that, but you need to try find that. And once you get that, and don't try to go through it alone because you won't make it.
Yeah, quite amazing. Graham, Paul, what an incredible story, mate. Not just sitting here front row seat hearing it all, but I think I would have been inspired either way. Even if I heard this, if I was watching this, I think I would have just been given that extra bit of step, so to speak, to just go out there and pursue whatever dream I have. I really appreciate you taking time to come and chat to me. It's been absolutely marvelous, and I hope that you will represent the country in some way, shape or form yet again as a proud South African.
No, thank you, and thank you for having me.